Duplicate cards waste time. This is not really about reviewing or not. It's more about that when you are using Anki for memorizing things. In this video, I'm going to focus on one aspect of this vocabulary capture system, filters them out, cleans them up so that they all look similar. Duplicate cards waste time, we all know that. But even if you don't mind reviewing the same vocabulary more than once, this is not really about reviewing or not. It's more about that when you are using Anki for memorizing things, essentially your mission is to pack as much learning time as little time as possible. Yeah, basically, you know the word or you don't know the word. Yeah, it all boils down to this. If you know it, you're not gonna see the card. If you don't know the word, you're gonna keep on seeing the card. Yeah, so you don't really need to duplicate things. However, it's normal to have duplicates when you capture your vocabulary into a spreadsheet. Yeah, but when you import them to Anki, before you do the import, you need to make sure that there's a reliable workflow process that allows you to address those duplicates. And that's what we're going to look at in this video. Hello, I'm Zhenya. I'm a project manager and information designer, and I am genuinely interested in things that do not work. And in this video, I'm going to focus on one aspect of this vocabulary capture system that doesn't work, which is capturing the duplicates of words when you import them into Anki. And if you kind of don't really know the context, it's not a big deal. You can just look at this video here, which kind of provides a general overview of the whole process of how you essentially capture all the words that you don't know and into spreadsheet, and then you batch import them into Anki without spending much time on creating Anki cards individually. Yeah? So you can get your big decks quite quickly by just easily capturing the words as you go. So we've been stress testing the system. We actually created a big 5-part video right here that you can look at. I think I'm going to post the link for the first video, and then you can kind of go on and watch the rest of them. It's a good process to go through if you're trying to figure out how to use Anki. It's like Anki for beginners. And one thing that we noticed while we were stress testing this process is that there's a lot of duplicates and we wanted to kind of address them. Yeah. So let's jump into the spreadsheet to see how this works out in real life. And here you can see my spreadsheet that I've been using on my mobile, and I've been recording a lot of words, and you can see that yellows highlights mark the words that I have recorded more than once. And that's quite natural because I want to use specific words, especially when speaking in like colloquially in a conversation. I don't remember something, I just put it in, and then maybe the same word happens again and again, and it's not a big deal. Yeah, the big deal is how do we actually address it. Let's go to this Spanish vocabulary capture Google Sheet template. And by the way, you don't have to spend time on recreating anything you see in this video. You can just go to the free download section of my website and just download this template. And I also provide the formula there, like a special section on my website where you can see all the formulas and all the conditional formatting things. And I'm gonna leave the note for you about this, yeah, how this actually works. So here's a sample set of words, and you can see that duplicates. Yeah. So let's remove this so that you see them clearly. It could be thousands and thousands of words, and you don't have to worry about it because you can just go to filters and you click on duplicates. And what this does, as you see here in the settings, it filters everything by color. So everything which is highlighted in yellow gets filtered out. And what is highlighted in yellow, you can go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and you can see that there is a custom formula, yeah? And the custom formula looks like this. What it essentially does, it looks at column J and figures out if there are duplicates in column J. And column J is this one, which has the words cleaned out, yeah? Because you can enter them like with extra spaces or maybe some like capitalization, things like that. So this column filters them out, cleans them up, so that they all look similar. And that is the best column for checking out for duplicates, yeah? So now it essentially highlighted things for us, and it filtered them for us too. So now we only look at duplicates, and now we need to decide what we want to leave. And since the conditional formatting highlights both the original and the duplicate, you can choose which one you want to keep. Yeah. For example, here you look at novice and novice. Yeah, this is duplicate. However, this one novice is a better one to keep because it already has a Spanish sentence example. Yeah. So this one we don't want, and we mark this as out in the priority column. Once we've done that, you notice that the highlight disappears because essentially the formula treats everything which is marked as out of scope of the import into Anki. And so once we mark this out, it means that it's not going to bother us in the import. Maybe the other one you want to is a high because we want to give it a high priority. Yeah? Then you remove the filter. Maybe this one is medium priority, this one is low priority. And if you remember, or if you want to check out the other video for the workflow, essentially what we do before importing into Anki, we go into this highlight by priority. And this allows us to select what is high priority, medium, low. And we want to import these 3 priorities in 3 different decks. So this way you can see you still have novice there, which is a high priority word right now, but it no longer has a duplicate because duplicate is marked as out, and therefore it never appears in any of the scope of import into Anki. And that's kind of the important thing for us. Yeah? So we don't deal with the duplicates anymore, even though we don't necessarily have to like butcher our spreadsheet or delete anything, etc. Yeah, because that's kind of, you don't want to do that anyways. It's kind of the cleaner way of doing it is just to mark things with drop down. Yeah, so that's it. And the final point to make here is to stress, I cannot stress this enough, that you don't want to worry. It's all about the workflow. Yeah, you don't have to worry about whether you have duplicates in your deck or not. Yeah, especially because when you have the spreadsheet on your mobile, you just enter materials in there as you go. Yeah, whether you read stuff, whether you talk to someone, whether you're in your language class, whether you're writing an email to somebody or doing some other stuff which is connected to the language you're learning, or for that matter, anything else you use your Anki cards for. Yeah. So on that stage where you aggregate your material, you just want to enter into your Google spreadsheet. You don't have to worry about, okay, I already have this word, should I enter it again, or what's going to happen? No, just enter everything, because you know you have a peace of mind that you have workflow in place that is going to allow you to sit down once a month or once a week, depending on how you like to do it, and you go through all these filters, and you can see on the screen. It's essentially acts like a checklist that you check missing tags, you check whether it's Spanish sentence or not, you check the duplicates, then you filter them by priority to export. So you already have a workflow in place that allows you to eliminate all of these things that you don't have to worry about in the beginning, yeah, when you just aggregate the material. That's all I wanted to say about it. Hit like and subscribe, enable notifications to get more materials later on from us, and please post the comments down below if you have any suggestions and any other things that you want us to talk about. Thank you very much. See you later.